Are you having difficulty mastering academic writing? Developing your paragraphs into a good essay can sometimes be challenging. In this video, we will talk about these 5 things that will help you to be able to write better academic essays. Welcome to Writing better sentences, paragraphs, and essays. Let's start with writing good, strong paragraphs. You will need to start with a clear topic sentence for each of your paragraphs. A paragraph usually begins with a sentence that expresses the main idea. This is what we call the topic sentence. The topic sentence decides the direction the paragraph will take. In each essay, you'll have a topic, and for each section, you will have a controlling idea. This controlling idea is the direction that the paragraph will go. For example, perhaps your topic is the causes of cancer. For each of your paragraphs, you will want a different controlling idea. It could be genetic factors, environmental factors, or lifestyle factors. Each of these controlling ideas will determine what your paragraphs will focus on for the main idea for each paragraph. After you have a good, clear topic sentence, you will want to provide supporting evidence and examples in your paragraph. You will start with the topic sentence, and then you might have an explanation, an example, perhaps. Maybe an explanation about the example. You might add some evidence and then explain something about that evidence. You may also add another example in your paragraph, and then your final conclusion sentence. Now, there are different types of supporting sentences that you can use in your paragraphs. You can explain, describe, give reasons, give facts, or give examples. All of these help to support your topic sentence. Here's an example of 2 possible paragraphs. You will also want a conclusion sentence that is a concise summary of the main idea. This sentence brings the paragraph to a logical conclusion, often restating the main idea. It lets the reader know that you have finished talking about that particular topic. One more thing that you need to do in your paragraphs is to use transition words. You want to use these within a paragraph as well as to connect paragraphs. Here are a few transition words that you can use to help connect your ideas in your paragraphs. You can see some of these in the example paragraphs. For example, furthermore, on the other hand, for instance, in addition. These transition words will connect your explanation and examples, creating a strong paragraph. In order to build powerful essays, you will want to do these things. You need to develop a strong thesis statement. A thesis statement expresses the main idea or the argument of the whole essay. It needs to be focused, debatable, and make some kind of claim that you will prove in your essay. Here are a few patterns for writing a thesis statement that you might try to use. A, B, and C are reasons for. In this case, A and B and C would be 3 controlling ideas that you want to use to prove your point in your essay. You could also write it in this way. The topic, whatever it is true because of A, B, and C. Or you could use this pattern as well. Although A is true, B and C are. Using a strong thesis statement will help to make a more powerful essay. After you have a strong thesis statement, you can use those ideas to create a clear and concise outline. Here's an example of an outline for a basic essay. You might use something that looks like this. Your outline will be different depending on what type of essay you are writing. Using your outline will help you to keep your essay organized. After writing your outline, you will want to support your argument with credible research and evidence. You should use reliable sources such as reputable websites, academic journals, books, and databases to find your information to use in your essay. You also need to keep detailed notes and record your reference information so that you can cite your sources properly. Here are a few effective research strategies that you can use. You first need to identify reliable sources and evaluate their credibility. Some things to look for. Who is the author? What are their credentials? You want to find information that is written by a person who actually knows and is known for the information you are using. You also want to look for accuracy. You should compare with other similar sources to see if the information is the same. Depending on your topic, it may be important to also know how current the information is. You should also see if the author uses citations for any sources that they have used in their writing. This will also give you other places to look for additional information. As was mentioned before, you want to use databases, academic journals, and reputable websites. Here are a few example databases that you might use in your research, as well as some academic journals and reputable websites. I would recommend that you don't use something like Wikipedia for your information. You should always take detailed notes and cite sources properly. Write down the most important ideas from what you have read. Organize this information and be sure to save files if you are using a computer or a tablet. You may want to save your information several times during your research. It's very frustrating if you lose the information that you've researched. And whenever possible, use your own words to write down the information that you're finding. But if you do copy verbatim, copy-paste, record the source of your information. You will want to cite your sources using APA, MLA, or some other citation method that your instructor may ask you to use. Be sure to keep your source information with each research item. When writing your essay, there are some pitfalls or problems that you want to avoid. You should always proofread for grammatical errors and typos. As you are writing, you will most likely make some mistakes. By proofreading, you should be able to find these and correct them. Take time to read the essay and look for any grammatical mistakes. Look for subject-verb agreement, for example. Check the punctuation. Have someone else read the essay. These are all good things to do after you have written your essay. When writing your essay, you want to use active voice and concise language to improve clarity. The active voice is used when the subject of the sentence is doing the action. These types of sentences have a strong and clear tone. For example, the company produced a new product. You don't want to write, a new product has been produced by the company. This is a passive voice sentence. Whenever possible, use active voice in your essay. You will also want to reduce clauses to phrases to make your writing more concise. In addition, try to avoid overused vocabulary and phrases. You may find that you use a certain phrase or a certain word too many times in your essay. Be sure to use specific verbs and, when possible, use single words. For example, instead of saying do something later, you can use the word procrastinate. One more thing that you should be very careful to check when you're writing your essay is that you are using a writing style that is appropriate for academic context. You want to use a formal writing style, so you do not want to use contractions such as shouldn't. Do not use slang or colloquialisms. Be sure to use more complex sentence patterns and use higher level vocabulary whenever possible. To help you master the art of revision, you will want to try to do some of these things. One recommended method is to read the essay out loud. Often, by reading the words that you have written out loud, using your voice, will help you to find places that are not clear or not written correctly. You can also get feedback from peers and instructors. Ask your friends to read your essay for you and give you some feedback. You always want to revise to improve the clarity, flow, and argumentation of your essay. Sometimes you will need to determine the best order for the ideas in your essay. You may have started with 3 ideas, idea 1, 2, and 3. However, after writing your essay, you may decide that you want to change the order of presentation to idea number 2 being first in your essay. Finally, you should proofread thoroughly for any remaining errors. I hope you will use these 5 methods to help you master academic writing. If you need help with any of those topics, you might check out some of these other videos on my channel. And for those who are interested, I have some printable workbooks for practicing writing skills. The link is in the description below. Happy writing!